It is time once again for Lakin Bronx football on LakinSports.com and Lakin Bronx Sports on YouTube. Brett and Sandy Hendricks welcome you to tonight's live video stream of Lakin Bronx football, so pull your cinch tight and hang on for the ride. Lakin Bronx live video coverage is brought to you by the Kearney County Bank and the Garden City State Bank, the agency of Lakin and Garden City, Flashbacks Diner of Lakin, Lakin Drug, Shelter Insurance Gwen Wechter, the Golden Plains Credit Union, the Lakin Recreation Committee.
And a good Friday evening. Welcome to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com. I'm Brett Hendricks. Thanks for joining me tonight for Bronx football, Week 9 of the 2021 high school football season. Also, Week 1 of the Class 2A state playoffs in the state of Kansas. Tonight, the Bronx on the road at Beloit to battle the Beloit Trojans. Both teams come in with identical 5-3 records. And both teams coming off losses a week ago. The Bronx losing to TMP by the score of 40-16, and Beloit losing a heartbreaker at Hoisington by the score of 7-6. So both teams come into the first round of the playoffs looking to right the ship and get a win under the belt. One thing about it now, it's win or go home. That's what's at stake here tonight for each team. Once again, I want to thank everybody for joining us here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com. We're going to start our pregame. Our pregame sponsor, Flashbacks Diner.
Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Socks at Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50, Lakin. Fantastic burgers, Coney and Chicago hot dogs, Philly, steak, BLT, and chicken sandwiches, along with ice cream treats like the traditional banana split, sundaes, shakes, malts, and cones. Dine in or carry out. Flashback to the days of Bebop and Bobby Socks at the one and only fantastic Flashbacks Diner, Highway 50, Lakin.
We had a chance to talk to Coach Bamberger before we got things started here tonight. And sponsoring that segment is Shelter Insurance, the big red, white, and blue shelter sign, East Highway 50, Lakin.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
And welcome back to LakinSports.com. Brett Hendricks with you tonight. We're in Beloit as the Bronx get set to battle the Trojans in Week 9 of the football season, also Week 1 of the Class 2A state playoffs. We're now joined by Bronx head coach Chris Bamberger. And Coach, last week a tough road loss, and with that, the Bronx are back on the road this week.
Yeah, obviously going into the game, we knew that we were playing for an opportunity to get it home. Didn't play as well as we want, probably mostly in the first half, especially. Obviously ended up taking a loss. So, we earned the long road trip up here, which, we are excited about the opportunity. Happy to be here. And
the thing about it is, yes, it's a long road trip, and the Bronx lost last week to put them on the road in the first round of the playoffs. But you know what? There's a lot of teams playing a meaningless 5-6 game, and I guess I shouldn't say meaningless because every time you get on the field is an opportunity, but this game does have some meaning to it.
Yeah, that's been our goal every year. Every year is we want to get our name in the bracket, in the playoffs. And so definitely it's a Week 9 matchup where we're in the bracket. I think, obviously we would cherish the opportunity to play if it wasn't. But, we feel like, your name is in the bracket, that you played enough good football throughout the year to be in the playoffs. And so, you fully expect to get to this point in the season and meet a quality opponent.
Last week, the Bronx got off to a fast start with the return on the kickoff by Servando. The luxury of having that play, though, is having your quarterback start that play because Servando does a great job, and he knows how to hide the fake.
Yeah, he sold it so well. And, even going back and watching it on film, you can see a couple kids that started to run at him and then turned and completely changed direction and started running a Connor, and he didn't have the ball, and so he went untouched. And anytime you can start a game that way, it gets your kids excited and gives you a little bit of momentum right away.
Unfortunately, though, that was the only momentum the Bronx had in the first half. But Bronx came back out in the second half and played a lot better. There was a lot of things that you would think as a fan, as a coach, that the Bronx could build off of going into this week, because the second half, the Bronx did do a lot better.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it is we weren't really doing anything different scheme-wise. It was more, I think our kids settled in and and really, just started executing what we were wanting them to execute. So, we were able to sustain some drives, move the ball a little bit offensively, and I think anytime you can do that, we know the kids play both sides of the ball, but I think, offensive drives, sustaining drives, is a positive thing regardless, and so it's nice to be able to do that, and I think it helps defensively anyway. So, I felt like we were able to get some really good things going on the second half.
And one of the things that we had an opportunity to talk before we left Hayes last week is one of the things that you noticed is the kids have to believe in their scheme. Sometimes, blocking
one matchup that they're trying to fight to win, and so we try to simplify the game for them, and I think the teams that win consistently, and especially win this time of year, is the kids that really take pride in their one-on-one scheme, their one-on-one matchup every single play. And I always tell the kids, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. Just try to win more than you lose, and if you win more than you lose, you can look up and you might see the scoreboard is in your favor.
Exactly, and like you said, you don't have to win them all, but you want the majority in your favor, and things will most likely turn out your way. This time of year, injuries seem to tend to mount up a little bit, but for a week 9, the Bronx are as healthy as they've been all season. You get Allen back at fullback and at linebacker.
Yeah, well, he might have a little bit of a limited role. He's going to start out playing offense for us. Defensively, we might fit him in. It could be where needed, could be where wanted. We're not 100% sure how it's going to play out yet. It's going to depend on how well he's moving and taking shots and how well things are going. So we kind of built the game plan without him because we weren't really planning on getting him, and he ended up getting himself cleared Wednesday, I think it was. So he was able to get a Wednesday practice and a Thursday practice, actually participate, instead of just be there and watch. So we're going to have to work him in. He's not, he's a kid he's a senior. I think he understands both schemes. He adds a lot of value to us on both sides of the ball. So, I'm absolutely excited to have him back in pads.
And like you said, he offers a lot of value on both sides of the ball. But last week, Coulter rolled him in his spot in that fullback position and even in that linebacker's position. Coulter plays linebacker anyway, but he moves over into Allen's spot. I thought the freshman answered a bell and played really well last week.
Yeah, this time of year, you kind of hope your freshmen are starting to play a little bit up, age-wise. And Coulter was a kid that he came in with the body that we felt like he could play right away. And, he's starting to really understand the scheme. And his instincts are really good. I think a lot of times, I might have talked about that a few weeks ago. Sometimes he ends up in places that he doesn't know why. But he's really starting to figure that out. And, that was a big role for him going into a tough football game, playing fullback. And I feel like he handled it very well.
I thought so too. Really, it's one of those situations. We talk. He's a freshman now. You know what? No, there's no such thing as a rookie in week 9 anymore. I mean, you're either ready to play or you're not. And he's one of those that's been a starter from day one and really showed how far he had come last week in week 8. And he's got 3 more years to prove it, I guess. But there's no such thing as a rookie this time of year.
Yeah, no, and that's what you hope. You hope that you're playing your best football this time of year, and sometimes you are and sometimes you aren't. But, as coaches, I feel like that's our role and our job to get them, to be playing their best football at this time of year. And so I think he's been a kid that has constantly improved. And we can't, our assistant coaches, they do a fantastic job. But Coulter's one of those kids that he just really takes to everything. He takes coaching, and he really, takes pride in his role.
Of course, this time of year, there's always some urgency because now this time of year becomes a one and done. So you're either a W or you're loading the bus and going home. Is there some sort of message during the week, or is it just one of those deals that the kids just understand it?
Well, I think the kids understand. I don't know that it's going to have to be a whole lot of talk. And I think it's really cliche to say, 1-0, but it is. That's what you try to be. You try to be 1-0, and whether we know we're playing next week or not, I think this message is always the same. You got an opportunity to get between the lines and play Friday Night Lights with a bunch of buddies you just worked really hard with, and to take advantage of your opportunity, enjoy it, play hard, have fun. Because, for the seniors this time of year, whether you play all the way to the state championship or not, your opportunities become very limited, and this is a game that you don't get to pick up and play when you're older. It's when you turn the cleats in and you turn your gear in, it is very, very final. And so, we tell the kids, take advantage of it. Just do what you're told, do what you're coached to do, have fun, and play for each other.
Exactly. Your opponent tonight, the Beloit Trojans, a very traditional program up here in the north, but it's an offense that just lines up and here it is, try to stop us. Very ground-oriented, but very disciplined on what they do.
Yeah, gosh, if you watched film or, followed Beloit in the last few years, you've seen Coach Gober adapt his scheme the last few years, and he's kind of adapted to this, heavy, double tight ends, downhill run game. And, you can see, you talk about kids taking pride in their roles, and you can see he's got a full 11 on the field that really take pride in that. Yeah. And it really makes it difficult. Offensively, on the side of the ball, they do some things that make it difficult for you as a defense to adjust. And that we've told the kids all week long, this is one of those big boy football games where you better have your chin strapped tight and ready to go, because they're going to come at you, and it's going to be a heavyweight fight as far as, they're going to come at you, come swinging. So, who can withstand and hold up and hang in there the longest.
It was 12 years ago, the first time the Bronx ever played the Trojans. Tonight is the third ever meeting. But nothing has changed in the 12 years if you watch Beloit football and how they go about things in their program. That is for sure. Bronx 0-2 all-time against Beloit, and the last meeting was in 2010. Beautiful night, beautiful setting for football, Coach. There's even a little bit of tailgate smoke in the air, and I'll tell you what, not a breeze, not even a lick of a breeze compared to what we've had the last couple of days, but I don't think we could have asked for a more perfect night for football.
No, beautiful facility, beautiful weather, opportunity to play late in October, and great opportunity, and we're happy to be here.
Glad we're here, Coach. Best of luck tonight, and as always, thanks for taking the time to come up and talk to me. If you wouldn't mind when we're done, I might have you come up because I'm lone wolfing it again tonight, so
gotcha.
If you could come up I would love to visit with you. And
yes, sir, we'll do.
So best of luck. And
thank you for making this trip. This was a long trip. You probably had to take off work early and everything. So thank you for doing it.
I took the whole day off. I got so many days I got to burn, so I just took it off and had it ready. So
we're happy to have you here.
Right.
I'm sure our fans appreciate it too.
It's a pleasure, Coach. Best of luck tonight, and we will talk to you afterwards.
Thank you.
That's Bronx head coach Chris Bamberger as the Bronx get set to battle the Beloit Trojans in round 1 of the 2A Kansas State football playoffs and week 9 of their schedule. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll continue with our pregame right here on LakinSports.com and Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Don't go away.
A lot of action on the street today, huh, Willie?
Yep. Oh, check out the German V8.
Good car.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ooh, 64 dream car.
At Shelter Insurance, we insure all your favorite rides.
Oh, classic convertible.
And have since 1946.
Sweet pickup. Hiya, Muggsy.
Yo.
From Hot Wheels to hybrids, we've got you covered.
Hey, mailman.
Love those shoes.
Hey, where you going?
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Our upcoming league outlet brought to you by Pioneer Communications of Southwest Kansas.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
Season is winding down. We are week 9 of the 2021 football season, but still a lot of things going on around the High Plains League. Look at some week 8 results. Remington defeated Elkhart by the score of 22-6. Oakley all over Sublette by the score of 45-6. Stanton County traveled to Wichita to battle the Panthers of Wichita Independent and downed them by the score of 56-26. And an 8-man action, Wichita County all over South Gray, 82-36. In District 7, it was Ellis, a shocker over Cimarron, defeating the Blue Jays by the score of 15-14. Southwestern Heights down Syracuse 45-31. And of course, our game, you saw it right here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube, TMP 40 and Lakin 16. Some Week 8 games going on this week. There was one last night. It was an 8-man Division I game. Wichita County falling to Hoxie by the score of 66-58. So the Indian season is done with that loss. Elsewhere in the High Plains League, Oakley 3-5. They travel to Elkhart to battle the Wildcats. The Wildcats 4-4 on the season. The 1-7 Sublette Larks, they are at Plainville. Plainville 5-3. Stanton County 3-4. They travel to El Saline, who is 3-5. In District 7 games tonight, Norton 4-4. They are at Cimarron 6-2. Ellsworth 1-7 on the season. They are at 2-6. Southwestern Heights. The Bulldogs of Syracuse 1-7 on the season. They are over in Phillipsburg. And the Panthers come in 2-6. And our game tonight, a battle of two 5-3 teams, the Bronx and the Trojans, right here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Your High Plains League update, what's going on around the area, brought to you by Pioneer Communications.
They said this place was too isolated to call home. They said it was too remote to build a community. And then one day, a farmer strung a copper wire from one fence post to another and changed everything. We didn't build the communities of Southwest Kansas. No, we just brought them together.
This week at Lakin High School brought to you by the Stampede. And of course, we talk about the Stampede each and every week and the good things that they do for not only Lakin High School athletics, but the activities organization, a fundraising organization that does a lot of great things for not only high school, middle school, and anything that any of the students would ever want in Lakin. So a big thank you to the Stampede for all they do for Lakin High School athletics and activities. Not a lot going on at Lakin High School this week. I talked about the fall seasons quickly coming to an end. This past Saturday, it was the 3A Sub-State Volleyball Tournament hosted at Lakin, and the Lady Bronx taking one on the chin, losing in the first round. The Lady Bronx came in as the number 4 seed, and they lost to the number 5 seed Hugoton Lady Eagles in straight sets, and the Lady Bronx finished their season 28-10. The 3A Regional Cross Country meet was also at Lakin last week at the Lakin Golf Course. The boys finished 4th with Lawson Beamer as the regional champion. Austin Ritzma finished 4th. Alex Luce finished 9th. There were no state qualifiers on the girls' side. So congratulations, Lawson, Austin, and Alex. Tomorrow, the 3A State Cross Country meet at Wamego. And once again, Lawson, Austin, and Alex running in the state cross country meet tomorrow. So best of luck to those runners as they represent Lakin tomorrow. Of course, our This Week at Lakin High School brought to you by the Stampede. Starting lineups, keys to the game brought to you by Lakin Hay and Lakin Dairy. Well, it was going to be until my podcast station locked up, but I want to thank Lakin Hay and Lakin Dairy for all their support of Lakin High School activities and their support of us here with Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube and LakinSports.com. I'll try to get this started back up and get an ad played for them, but starting lineups, we'll go through the lineups for Lakin. That's the only ones that I got, but you know what? Here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube, they're the only ones that matter, right? So, starting at center, wearing number 65, a senior, Omar Gonzalez. At right guard, wearing number 58, a junior, Darian Edgington. He was our player of the game last week in that loss at TMP. Wearing number 56, back into the offensive starting lineup, starting at fullback. He wears number 22. He is a senior. Colter Oldham at one of the slots, wearing number 15. He's a freshman. And at the other slot, wearing number 11, a senior, Connor Hudson. And at quarterback, wearing number 3, a senior, Servando Gonzalez. Servando won the season 120 carries, 657 yards, has 9 touchdowns, and averages 5.5 yards per rush. The Bronx come in as a team averaging 4.6 yards per carry. We are now going to take a break for the introduction of the colors and the playing of our national anthem.
Our national anthem will be presented by the Beloit High School Marching Band under the direction of Mrs. Christy Vetter. Please remain standing until the flags exit the field. Thank you.
Presentation of the presentation of the flags and the national anthem. The Beloit Marching Band is right down below us, all of them dressed in Halloween costumes, so I'm anxious to see what their halftime show is going to be like. And they're a good band. I've listened to them during the pregame, and definitely having a lot of fun, and that's what Friday nights are all about. Starting lineups, keys to the game. Keys to the game tonight is, you know what, you just got to come out strong, you got to eliminate turnovers. Tonight is a win or go home, so tonight's got to be your best shot, or you're packing it in on Monday. So starting lineups and our keys to the game brought to you by Lakin Dairy and Lakin Hay. We'll be back.
Ripsimo established the Lakin Dairy in 1997 and is now a leading producer of high-quality milk for human consumption. The Lakin Dairy is proud to be a big part of the Kearney County economy and community. With fantastic, dedicated, and hard-working employees, the Lakin Dairy prospers in the heart of, as Fred calls it, the Midwest Feed Shed. Always supporting the Lakin High School students, the Lakin Dairy, a verified premium operation, is honored to call Kearney County home at lakindairy.com on the internet.
We're about set to get things going here. Our first quarter brought to you by the agency.
Some commercials make it really tempting to buy cheap insurance. That's great if price is the only thing that's important to you. The agency believes cost is important, but protection is what you're really paying for. Rely on the agency to build the policy that protects your property at a price you can afford. Call the agency today at 620-355-6789.
Captains making their way out to the field for the coin toss. The Bronx in the road white tops, gold pants this week. Purple letters and numbers trimmed in gold. Beloit the home white, the home black uniforms, white letters and numbers, and trimmed in orange and white. The Bronx 5-3 on the season, and the Beloit Trojans also 5-3 on the year. Servando, Connor, Allen, and I missed the fourth captain out there. And we'll get the fourth captain here in a minute. The coin has been tossed.
has won the toss, and they have elected to receive and will go
And 66 on the field. Okay, now that's Omar, number 65. Omar was the fourth captain. Beloit wins the toss, and they will receive. Lakin will defend on the west goal. Well, I think they're going to receive. I saw Beloit won the toss. I'm going to struggle with the not much lighting right here, and orange going to be a little difficult to see, but what the heck. You know what? Not a big deal. We'll make it. So the Bronx will kick off, and Beloit to receive two. They'll be going from our left to our right in this first quarter. Our first quarter brought to you by the agency of Lakin and Garden City. I want to thank all the great sponsors that make LakinSports.com possible. I got to tell you, this is one of the most perfect settings for football I have ever called a game in. I'm sitting outside. It's going to be chilly. I'm going to be cold before we're done. But the limestone grandstands, the trees, a beautiful sunset off to our right, and not a lick of wind in the air tonight. But I just love this place. It just has a great feel. So one of the nicest facilities. And by talking to the AD here at Beloit, they're working to in their budget to get some improvements for next year, a bigger press box and some different things. But like I said, I was here 12 years ago when my oldest son Tyler was a senior, and things didn't work out so well for the Bronx that night, but this is a beautiful setting for high school football, one of the nicest I've ever been at. So beautiful night for football, and we're about set to get things going. Brett Hendricks with you. I appreciate everybody for joining us here tonight on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube and LakinSports.com. Ador Curto with the ball on the tee. And we are underway. Ball hits one of the up men, and he springs free. Ador is the last guy to beat, and he's around him. Tarpley up the far side. The last man, Tarpley, gets him, wraps him up by the ankles at the 10-yard line. But just like the Bronx did last week, the Trojans, with Braden Burks returning that kick, he bobbled the high kick at the 25-yard line, gathered it in, and had nobody in front of him. But Tarpley, with that speed, ran him down. But it's first and goal for the Trojans at the Bronx 9-yard line.
Yard line, a gain of 8. Second down and goal, less than a yard to go.
Running back brought down at the Bronx 1-yard line, so it's second down and goal. And I'll run our clock back up. And a touchdown.
Touchdown run. Beloit goes up 6-0 with the try for the conversion coming up.
Quarterback on the keeper with a 1-yard run. And just like that, Beloit on the board and with the early lead. So just like the Bronx did last week at TMP, Beloit with the early touchdown. Beloit now with the extra point attempt, and they will go for 2. Pitch to the near side. And the 2-point conversion is good. Owen Eilert, the quarterback, with the 1-yard quarterback sneak. And with the extra point conversion, Benson Burnt. Runs it in for the conversion. And Beloit on the board, leading 8-0. And our clock still runs. I apologize for that. Bronx on the field ready to return. We'll see if the Bronx can get things started off a kickoff just like they did a week ago at TMP. So we've got everything updated here now. 11:17 to go in the first quarter, and Beloit already on top of the Bronx, 8-0. I forgot my desk lamp again this week, and I knew I should have stopped in Hayes and got one on the way, so I'm just going to have to suffer through best I can. Short end over end kick, fielded at the 30 by Armando Salcedo, and the Bronx will have it 1st and 10 from their 31-yard line. Bronx as a team averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Passing game, Bronx averaged 26 yards per game through the air, 198 yards per game on the ground. And the Bronx are led by senior Servando Gonzalez with 657 yards. Alan Martinez from his fullback position follows with 428. 1st and 10 Bronx from their 31-yard line. Servando bobbles and gets the pitch to Connor Hudson around the right end, across the 30, across the 40, and knocked out of bounds. He'll have the first. Now they're going to say he's just short of the first down. He's across the 40, but it will be short of the first down. So 2nd down and about a football length for the Bronx.
Braden Burks was the one who ran him out of bounds. 2nd down and 1 for the Bronx.
Bronx send a receiver to the near side. That is Tarpley. Bronx with that hesitation in motion and got the Trojans to jump. So that'll give the Bronx 1st and 10 from their almost 46-yard line. Clock is running. 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bronx down 8-0 early. Martinez, quick hitter up the middle. He's at midfield, across midfield into Beloit territory.
22, Alan Martinez.
Gain tackled by a host of black shirts.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 5 yards.
Gain of 5 yards on the play for Martinez. Allen on the season averaging 4 yards per carry.
Led the defensive charge for the Trojans.
Omar Gonzalez starting at center for the Bronx. Servando under center, lone back behind him is Martinez. Martinez up the middle quick again. Forward progress is to the 47-yard line. Somebody got slammed backwards. Man, that was Allen that got slammed backwards, but they'll give him forward progress to the Beloit 48-yard line. Gain of maybe 1, so it's going to be 3rd down and 4. Long 3, short 4 for the Bronx. Off the snap, give to Martinez. He has it on the right side. He is knocked out of bounds, but he will have enough for the 1st down. Oh, they're going to say it was short once again.
Correction, he's short.
And even the press box guys had it a 1st down. So 4th and 1 for the Bronx. A big 4th down play on their opening drive. Servando keeps it up the middle and will have enough for the 1st down if we go by the far official.
It is enough for Lakin 1st down.
So the Bronx able to move the football on a couple 1st downs on this drive. And the clock will roll. Beautiful night for football here in Beloit. After the last couple days of high winds in Kansas, not a lick of a breeze tonight. Beautiful night. Servando fakes it inside to Martinez, keeps it around the near side, out near the 40-yard line. He's going to gain maybe 3 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
2nd down for Lakin.
If you're just joining us, Beloit returned the opening kickoff to the Bronx 9-yard line, took 2 plays to punch it in from there, and they lead early 8-0. Servando in the gun, Martinez in the backfield with him. Swing pass to the right side. Hudson has it across the 40, looking for space, tripped up at the 35-yard line. And he is tripped up out of bounds. Gain of 6. So we're going to bring up another short. Another short down for the Bronx, 3rd and 1. Give is to Martinez. He's across the 35, stacked up.
Alan Martinez carries the ball across the first down marker. Stopped by the interior of the defensive line, but it is enough for another Lakin first down. Ball is at the 32-yard line.
The Bronx 1st and 10 at the Beloit 32-yard line.
Servando Gonzalez on the quarterback keeper.
Servando keeps it around the right side. I wasn't sure if Coulter had it or Servando kept it, but Servando kept it around the right side, going to gain 7 yards, brings up 2nd down and 3.
6-yard line, it's a 2nd down and 3 after a gain of about 7.
Bronx with the drive starting at their 31-yard line. Now they're inside Beloit territory at the Beloit 25. Bronx break huddle, send 2 receivers to the near side. Martinez the lone back. And once again, the Bronx got the Trojans to jump.
Illegal motion, illegal procedure called on Lakin.
Oh, they're going to call illegal procedure on Lakin that time. I didn't see a Bronx twitch, but not saying that he didn't. So that'll march the Bronx back 5 yards. 2nd down and 8 now for the Bronx. At the Beloit 31-yard line. Once again, 2 receivers to the near side. Give is to Martinez up the middle. Not much of a gain, maybe 1 on the play. They're going to give him to the 29-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down and 7 for the Bronx. Their longest 3rd down try here on this drive. Bronx have had a lot of 3rd and shorts, but right now a 3rd and long at 3rd and 7. Couldn't ask for a more beautiful night for high school football. Servando with the snap, fakes inside now, will turn it up. And a short gain has it to the Beloit 25-yard line. Going to bring up a 4th down and 2 for the Bronx.
A big defensive play coming up for the Trojans.
So a big 4th down here for the Bronx. Servando under center. Oldham in motion. Fake inside to Martinez. Servando trying to fight forward. We'll see where the near official, that's going to be close. The near official has him to the 23-yard line. Servando reached out. And I think he's going to be short, and he is. The Bronx are going to turn it over on downs, but a good drive for the Bronx, but they're going to come up empty-handed.
With the initial stop on the play, Trojans take over on their own 23-yard line, 1st down and 10.
A 45-yard drive for the Bronx, but they come up empty as Beloit takes over 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line. Trojans leading 8-0. Up the middle.
Nice effort by Logan Aerosmith to get the ball out to the 30-yard line and a gain of 7. Second down and 3 coming up.
Logan Aerosmith with the run up the middle. Going to gain 7 yards on the play. Brings up second down and 3. And clock running. I'll run the clock down. Under 5.5 to go in this first quarter. Give up the middle once again. Stacked up by a host of white shirts. We'll have the first down. On the carry is Tate Cadle.
It's enough for Trojan. First down. Ball out to the 42-yard line.
Running the play in for the Trojans, Maddox Waters. Trojans with a tight set. They stay in the huddle, they sprint to the line, and I'll tell you what, the defense better be ready when they get to the line because they're snapping and they're coming to you. Give to the right side, out across midfield, down to the 45-yard line. Just power, smash mouth football on the carry for the Trojans was number 24, Benson Burnt. Tarpley and Gonzalez on the stop for Lakin, but another Beloit first down. Drive started from their 23-yard line. Beloit sprints to the line once again. Pitch to the far side. Aerosmith with it, cuts it in. Spun down at the Bronx 40 by Curtis Beam. About 5 yards on the play. Second down and 5 for the Trojans.
It'll be a second down and 4 from just inside the 40-yard line.
And they're going to call it 4 yards here, just inside the 40. And thank everybody for joining us here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. Ball carrier brings it to the right side. And it's good for another Trojan first down.
35-yard line. It's enough for another Trojan.
Burnt once again on the carry for Beloit. And they keep chugging along.
In on the stop. For Lakin, first down and 10 for the Trojans.
Under 3.5 to play. Back to throw. Receiver has it at the 5 and walks into the end zone for a touchdown. On the reception is Jackson Rexroth.
34-yard pass from Owen Island to Jackson Rexroth.
Beloit will line up and go for 2. Give to Barrett once again on the near side. And Beloit now with a 16-0 lead. 3:15 to go in the first quarter. Bronx now trailing Beloit by the score of 16-0. Our first quarter brought to you by the agency of Lakin.
Experience the best in customer service when you call the agency for an insurance quote. The agency can provide insurance coverage to meet your needs. Protect your financial future by calling the agency at 620-355-6789.
So 2 drives, 2 scores. and conversions for the Beloit Trojans. They lead the Bronx 16-0 here in our first quarter. Brett Hendricks with you. Glad you're joining us here on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube and LakinSports.com.
Chancellor will kick off for the Trojans. Gonzalez and Hudson back deep for Lakin.
Kalen Chancellor to kick for the Trojans. Hudson and Servando Gonzalez back deep for the Bronx. Chancellor a low end over and kick. And Servando picks it up. He's across the 25 looking for space. Still zigzagging through the defense, but he's going to be brought down at the Bronx 32-yard line where they'll have it 1st and 10.
Take care. William Burks on the stop. Ball's marked at the 33. 1st down and 10 for Lakin.
It's 1st and 10, Bronx at their 33-yard line. Their first possession started at their 31. They turned it over on downs at the Beloit 23-yard line. The 1st and 10 Bronx. Give is to Martinez after missing last week's game due to an injury. Gains maybe 1 yard on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 9. Bronx had a good opening drive. They just stalled it out at the 23 of the Trojans, but the Bronx picked up a couple crucial 4th down plays to keep the drive going. They need a drive here as they trail at 16-0. Bronx come out in a tight formation. Servando with the snap. Rolls it off the right side. He'll be across the 35-yard line to the 37-yard line. Gain of 2 yards on the play. Going to bring up 3rd down and 7.
It's a 3rd down and 6 from the 37-yard line.
So 3rd down and 6. We'll go with them. 2 minutes to go, opening quarter. If you're just joining us, Beloit, a quick score right off the bat. A short 9-yard drive. Servando back to throw. Complete to Curtis Beam. Fights through the first defender, works it across mid. Well, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the Bronx 49-yard line, but the Bronx completing the pass for the 1st down.
Quinn Eilert was the one who ran him out of bounds. 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10, Lakin
49-yard line.
At the 49. And once again, false start Lakin. So I don't know who is moving on the line, but that play is designed for Connor to stop and try to draw the defense off sides. But for some reason, the last 2 times the Bronx have ran it, the Bronx jump. So maybe they're seeing something down there that we haven't seen all season. But Bronx with the 5-yard penalty backs them up. It's 1st down and 15 from the Bronx 44-yard line. Tight formation. Oldham in motion coming this way. He has the football, cuts it inside off tackle. Has it across midfield before he's gang tackled. And he'll be across midfield to the 49-yard line. Gain of 7. Gain of 7 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 8. And an official timeout as Coulter walks off, holding his helmet. I think the helmet came off, and when it comes off, you've got to go take a break. So I think that's all it was. Either that or maybe a problem with it because he handed it to a coach and they're heading to the trainer's table. Maybe a problem with a strap or a snap or something. 2nd down and 8 for the Bronx, just across midfield. Under a minute to play first quarter. Servando. Back to throw. Brought down by Jackson Rexroth. So a loss of 6 yards on the play. Be 3rd and 16 coming up for the Bronx now. And I'll restart our clock. Sorry about that. Get caught up watching and forget to start. So 3rd and 16 now for Lakin. As they were in Beloit territory, now they find themselves back at their own 43-yard line. Bronx now will split them twice to the right side, once to the near side. Servando back to throw. Shakes the first defender, now has room. Ball is tipped. Curtis Beam comes up with it, and the official said he did make the catch. Nice diving catch by Curtis Beam, but it will be 4th down for the Bronx. It'll be a 4th and 4 for the Bronx, but that'll do it for our first quarter, Our first quarter brought to you by the agency. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Bronx football on Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube.
Some commercials make it really tempting to buy cheap insurance. That's great if price is the only thing that's important to you. The agency believes cost is important, but protection is what you're really paying for. Rely on the agency to build the policy that protects your property at a price you can afford. Call the agency today at 620-355-6789.
Our second quarter brought to you by the Kearney County Community Development.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lake and Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
4th and 4 for the Bronx as we start the second quarter. Slow down, Brett. I've been here a while, but it hadn't been that long. 4th and 4 for the Bronx at the Beloit 45-yard line. Bronx tried to draw them off sides. Beloit not biting on the fake. Pitch to the far side. Martinez looking for room, and there is nothing doing there. Martinez will actually lose 5 yards on the play. And the Bronx will turn it over on downs at midfield. It's a good starting field position for Beloit on their 3rd drive of the evening.
Was also in on the stop with an assist on that play. 1st and 10 for Beloit.
Just underway, second quarter. Receiver split to the near side is Maddox Waters. Benson Burnt with the carry to the near side. Brought out of bounds by Servando Gonzalez, but not before a 29-yard gain.
Takes it all the way down to the 19-yard line, a gain of 31.
Actually a 31-yard gain for the Trojans. Jackson Rex wrote the receiver wide to the right. Give is up the middle. And another gain down to inside the Bronx 10-yard line. Tate Cadal with the carry. And a 1st and goal for the Trojans from the Bronx 8-yard line. Give off the right side. Burnt cut it back up the middle and scored easily. So Beloit, 3 possessions, 3 scores. And they now lead at 22-0. Still 11:18 to go in the second quarter. Trojans will line up, go for 2. Eilert under center. I formation behind him. Fakes, rolls out to the near side, and the pass is complete to Braden Burke.
11:18 to play in the second. Beloit 24, Lakin 0.
And here in this first half, it has been all Beloit, leading the Bronx 24-0.
That's another $10 donated to the Beloit High School Athletic Department, thanks to Next Tech, who is donating $10 all season long for every home touchdown. That puts our total up to about $120. Let's keep it rolling, Trojans.
Want to wish the best of luck to Lawson Beamer, Austin Ritzma, and Alex Luce into tomorrow's 3A state cross-country meet in Wamego. So best of luck to those 3 as they represent Lakin at the state cross-country meet. Back to return for the Bronx, Connor Hudson and Servando Gonzalez. Been all Beloit, scoring on all 3 possessions. Bronx opening drive got them down to the Beloit 23-yard line before they turned it over on downs. But Beloit on offense is having no problem moving the football. Another short end over end kick. Junior Gonzalez with it at the 30, brings it to the near side before he's stacked up at the 35. And the Bronx will have it 1st and 10 from there. First and 10 Bronx at, they put it at the 36-yard line. Like I said earlier, many teams take it on the chin here, but I love this setting for football. Trees surrounding the field, the limestone grandstands. Beautiful setting for football. And tonight, it's a cool, crisp evening, but a beautiful night. Servando with the snap, rolls to the left side. He is stacked up and nothing doing.
Servando Gonzalez on the keeper, and he meets Mr. Braden Burks. It's a loss on the play, back to about the 34. It'll bring up a 2nd down, and we'll call it 13.
Loss of 3 on the play. 2nd down and 13 for the Bronx, but Bronx unable to get anything going outside. Beloit's defensive ends able to seal the edge. That time Servando rolled to their left. Nowhere to go. Bronx split them both sides. Tarpley to the left, Beam to the near side. Servando under center. Fake up the middle. And nothing doing. Servando tackled for a loss once again. And a little bit extra. Servando's taken down after the whistle. But another loss on the play. Bronx are going backwards instead of to the right. So a loss now will bring up 3rd and 15 for the Bronx. Give up the middle. Martinez with the carry. Going to short gain, maybe 2 yards. Going to bring up 4th and 13. Bronx will not be going forward in this position, as Omar Gonzalez should back up to punt here.
Was the lead tackler for the Trojans on that play.
And Omar dropping back to punt. Alex Martinez, the long snapper. Nice chest-high snap. Gonzalez gets it off. A high, wobbly kick. Nobody to return for Beloit. And it takes a Bronc roll. And Curtis Beam will down it at the Beloit 28-yard line where they will have it 1st and 10.
Fans, a reminder, the International Club, the History Club, are running tonight's concession stand. They still got burger meals for donations while the supplies last. They're raising funds for their D.C. trip this spring and a Peru trip next summer. Thank you for your support.
136 yards of offense for Beloit on 3 drives. The Broncs have not been able to slow them down so far. And Beloit starts 1st and 10 from their 27. Give to the near side. Cut it back inside. With it is Benson Burnt.
Up to about the 29-yard line. Stopped by Coulter Oldham. Correctly up to the 34.
Up to the 34-yard line. Gain of 7 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 3. Just over 8.5 to play. First half. Broncs trailing 24-0.
Stood up on the play by Darian Edgington. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 40-yard line.
Beloit 1st and 10 from their 40. The drive started at their 28. And Burnt in open territory. Hudson with the angle, but Burnt will beat him to the end zone. And another Beloit touchdown. 60-yard touchdown run by Burnt. Beloit once again lining up to go for 2. Eilert under center, back to throw. And the pass is complete to Rexroth.
Conversion pass is complete to Jackson Rexroth. 7:37.
And now Beloit increasing their lead to 32-0 with 7:37 to go in this first half. As I said, Broncs with no resistance for the Beloit offense. Four possessions, 4 easy scores.
Next step to the Beloit High School Athletic Department, $130 on the season now.
$7:37 to go in our first half. It is all Beloit, leading the Broncs 32-0. Chancellor to kick for the Trojans. Another short end-over-end kick. Broncs call for the fair catch. Fielding it was Tarpley, and the Broncs will put it in play. 1st and 10 from their 33-yard line.
33-yard line, Lakin starts 1st down and 10. Fans stick around at halftime. The scariest band in the land, the Beloit High School Marching Band, will present tonight's halftime entertainment.
First and 10 Bronx. Oldham in motion. Fake inside. Servando looking for space. We'll get to the 35 before he is teed off on. Gains 2 yards on the play. Second down and 8 for the Bronx.
Parker Isbell on the stop for Beloit. Second and 8.
Bronx come to the line, second and 8. Servando once again around the left side, does have room this time across the 35 to the 40, where he's taken out of bounds, short of the first down. Looks like it'll bring up third down and 1. So gain of 7 on the play for Servando. Clock stopped at 6:40 to go in the half. I don't know what's going on the Lakin sideline, but there's an EMT with a backboard walking with Nate Schmidt. And
Alan Martinez on the
give up the middle to Allen is good for a Bronx first down.
He's got enough for a first down after a gain out to about the 44-yard line. First down and 10. Parker Isbell leads the tackles for Beloit.
I was trying to keep an eye on what's going on the far side, but not really sure. But the EMTs are tending to somebody just in front of the Lakin bench, the Lakin stands over there. Definitely don't want to speculate anything, but not a good situation. Give up to middle. No room for Alan Martinez.
The ball carrier out to the midfield stripe.
Actually, he's going to gain 2.
We'll call it a second down and 8.
Going to be second down and 8.
Brennan Walker and Parker Isbell on the stop.
Got a tailgate feed, a burger feed going on here tonight, and I don't know if you can see it with the lights, but the smoke just hanging over over the top of the stadium here. Can't tell if I've got a couple spots on our camera. Might have to, during a timeout, try to fix that.
Connor Hudson, the ball carrier.
Connor Hudson with the carry to the near side is going to lose yards on the play. It was second down and 8. Now it'll be third and 13, so a loss of 5 on that play. So the Bronx with third and long from their 41-yard line. Clock running at under 5 minutes to go in the first half. It has been all Beloit, leading 32-0. Timeout on the field. Bronx with the timeout.
Their first charge timeout. Hey fans, that's not fog settling over the Trojan field. That's hamburger smoke. Hamburger meals are still going down there. Get out and get you one from the International Club and the History Club while they last.
He said, I think I see a couple spots at the top of our camera, so you're going to see my hand in front of the camera, but I apologize. I'm going to try to wipe that lens off. A couple dust specks or something there. Well, didn't help, so I'm not sure what that is. It might just be the glare, yeah. I see it across the way. It's one of a tree over, I think, just beyond the Lakin grandstand. So it looked like a couple spots, but it might be, it just might be the glare. And now the ambulance has pulled up over to the Lakin grandstands, but definitely something going on over there. have no idea what's going on. But not a good situation. Bronx with the first timeout of the half. They have 2 remaining. Now it's a 3rd down and 13 from the Lakin 41-yard line. Servando from the gun. Now rolls to the left side, will tuck it. Had only one receiver in the pattern. Servando gang tackled. They'll give him out to the 42-yard line.
A short 12, about 11 to go.
So it'll be 4th and 11.
Cato stopped. Gonzalez 4th down and 11.
Omar Gonzalez back to punt. Chest high snap, just gets it off. A low wobbly kick, nobody there to return it. Takes a Bronx bounce and will be downed just outside the Beloit 15-yard line. The worst starting possession for the Trojans, but so far tonight it hasn't mattered where they start from. First and 10, Beloit. Back to throw, complete to Brennan Walker. Walker out in front, Servando chasing, and Servando will get him down. But a gain down inside Bronx territory, inside the Bronx 10 at the 7-yard line.
Inside the 10-yard line at about the 6. Servando Gonzalez.
So one way to eliminate bad starting field position is a long pass. And Beloit with the 1st and goal at the Bronx 7-yard line. Burnt with the carry to the near side, and he will walk in from the 7-yard line.
Touchdown run.
And the Trojans continue to pile it on the Bronx in this first half, now leading 38-0. Going for 2, back to throw, complete to Maddox Waters.
Is good. 3:04 to play in the second quarter. Beloit 40 and Lakin 0.
And with 3:04 to go in the first half, Bronx trail it 40-0. Our second quarter brought to you by Kearney County Community Development.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lake and Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
3:04 remaining in the first half, and it's been all Trojans from the outset. They lead the Bronx 40-0 with 3:04 to go. Gonzalez and Hudson back to receive for Lakin. Beloit has not kicked off anything to give the Bronx any chance at a return. Beloit that time looked like an onside kick attempt, but they're going to touch it within the 10-yard boundaries. They're giving the Bronx their best starting field position at the Beloit 47.
Lakin takes over at the spot of the dead ball. It'll be a first down and 10 for the Broncos from the Trojan 47-yard line.
Bronx their best starting field position at the Beloit 47. See if the Bronx can get something before halftime. Give to Martinez. Nowhere to run. They might give him one on the play. Second down and 9.
Second down and 9. Jackson Rexroad. Braden Burks on the stop.
At the half, we'll talk to Bronc AD Nate Schmidt. Nate here tonight, and he will head over to Wamego to watch the cross-country meet tomorrow as well. Oldham around the left side. Across the 45, and I thought, oh man, Beloit trying to strip that ball, and I thought they had it, but Coulter able to hold on to it. Gain of 2 yards on the play brings up third down and 7.
Braden Burks, Parker Isbell combined on the stop.
Braden Burks was trying to strip that football. I thought he actually had, but Coulter keeps a hold of it. And we've got third and 7, 1:46 to go in our first half. Bronx would like to get something going before they head into the halftime break. Reverse, and the ball is on the ground, recovered by the Bronx.
Fumble on the play is recovered by...
And Beloit wants to call timeout with 1:29 to go, so Beloit will force a Bronx punt. And timeout called by Beloit. That's their first. They have 2 remaining. So 4th and 15 for the Bronx. Smoke drifting over the press box, just kind of hanging over the field. Kind of a, I guess with Halloween coming up this weekend, kind of an eerie look with the smoke hovering over the field. Kind of a fitting setting for the Bronx in this first half. The Bronx have been unable to get anything going whatsoever on offense. Timeout called by the Trojans. Beloit leading 40-0 with just under a minute and a half to play in our first half. Fourth and 15 for the Bronx. Omar Gonzalez back to punt. Back to return will be, looks like Galen Chancellor for Beloit. High snap. Omar fields it, gets the punt off a low spiral. Taking a Bronx roll. There is a flag down in the Beloit defensive backfield. That flag was thrown immediately at the Beloit 15-yard line, so we'll wait and see what that is. And there's also a flag at midfield, illegal substitution. So Beloit with too many guys on the field. They'll have 1st and 10 from their Well, Lakin's going to bring it back and re-kick it.
It's a 15-yard penalty, and it gives
15-yard penalty now extends the drive for the Bronx, so a costly penalty for the Trojans. That'll keep this drive going for Lakin. 1st and 10 from the Beloit 37-yard line. So instead of having it deep in their own territory, that would be Beloit having it in their territory. Now the Bronx with it, with a chance to keep this drive going. 1:19 to go in the first half. It has been all Trojans from the outset. Bronx with 2 receivers to the far side. Oldham in motion. And a reverse to Salcido. And he's going to lose 8 yards. Brady Seifert on the tackle for the Trojans. Loss of 8 yards brings up 2nd down and 18 as the clock runs at 53 seconds. The way the half is gone, the Bronx will be in no hurry to try to stop this clock. Second and 18. Servando from the gun. Sidearms it to Colter Oldham, who makes the catch across the Beloit 40, almost to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 for the Bronx.
It's a gain of about 7, 3rd down and 11.
13 seconds to go. Bronx jog it to the line, hoping to get one more play. Servando from the gun. Pass is knocked down by Grady Seifert. That'll bring up 4th and 12 with 2 seconds to go. This situation, you just go for it and hope for something in your favor, and hopefully hope it doesn't go the other way. Bronx with 2 timeouts remaining. Our second quarter brought to you by the Kearney County Community Development, our halftime sponsor, the Kearney County Bank, and the Lakin Recreation Commission. Serve from the gun, rolls to the right side, waving Curtis Beam, now looking, finds Colter Oldham at the 30, open field across the 20, and he is dropped inside the 20, so a gain, a nice play to Oldham in the flat. But that'll do it for our first half. And we go to the half. Beloit leading the Bronx 40-0. Our second quarter brought to you by Kearney County Community Development.
Kearney County, a wonderful life opportunity, offers a wide range of opportunities to residents and visitors. Hunting, fishing, camping, golfing, and bowling provide recreation, plus the Lakin Rec Commission provides youth and adult programs in Lakin and Deerfield. Explore the rich history of the county by visiting the Kearney County Historical Museum or the historic sites throughout the county. Take advantage of what Kearney County has to offer. Contact Ralph Goodnight, Kearney County Economic Development, or on the web at www.kearneycountykansas.com.
Our halftime brought to you by the great folks at the Kearney County Bank.
Home improvements that have had to wait. The dream vacation your family deserves. Even college tuition. Garden City State Bank can help you make it all happen now, not someday. With a home equity line of credit, you can borrow up to 90% of the value of your home, and the interest may be tax deductible. Plus, there are no closing costs, no application fees, and no annual fees. A fast, easy, convenient home equity line of credit from Garden City State Bank, a branch of the Kearney County Bank. Subject to credit approval, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The Beloit High School Marching Band in their Halloween costumes on the field, entertaining us at the half. Beloit has been entertaining for the home crowd. They lead the Broncs 40-0 here at the half. Our halftime thoughts and recap brought to you by the Lakin Rec Commission. We'll be back right after this.
The Lakin Recreation Commission has a full fitness room with 5 treadmills, tread climber, rowing machine, 3 elliptical fitness cross trainers, 2 stationary bikes, and strength training fitness equipment. You'll find just what you need for your own quality workout. The fitness room is open for the public's use free of charge during business hours. For use after business hours, Lakin Rec also has a keyless entry system available. The Lakin Rec Commission, always involved with the youth of Lakin, 702 North Campbell, Lakin, 355-7039. The benefits are endless.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com. The Beloit High School Marching Band entertaining us at the half. And Beloit leading the Bronx by the score of 40-0. Not a lot really as far as halftime thoughts and recap as far as the Bronx go. Beloit took the opening kickoff, ran it back to the Bronx 9, and 2 plays later after the two-point conversion, Beloit with the early 8-0 lead, and it has been all Trojans ever since. After that opening score by the Trojans, the Bronx did drive to the Beloit 23-yard line, but then ended up turning it over on downs. And since then, the Bronx have really been unable to get anything going on offense here in this first half as they trail it by 40. Well, as we have been doing most of the time on the road games, home games, we've found some locals that, from the school and different activities and a chance to talk to them. But we're now joined by Bronc AD and high school basketball coach Nate Schmidt. And, Coach, always a pleasure to visit with you at halftime. Hey, we'll leave it your topic tonight. I got to thinking about it coming up here today, what we would talk about. Most of the fall events have come to an end, but if you don't have a topic, we'll just talk about how busy it's been at Lakin High School. Of course, last week hosting the 3A volleyball sub-state and hosting the 3A regional cross-country meet. And tomorrow, cross-country, Lawson, Austin, and Alex representing Lakin over at Wamego in the 3A cross-country meet.
Yeah, well, first off, Brett, I appreciate everything that you guys do. 4.5-hour trip up here on a Friday. You probably had to leave work early and
no, I had the day off.
Yeah, the day off. All right. Well, here I'm trying to give you some props here.
Well,
so
I know.
But,
hey, I'm taking time off to do it. I guess I don't know.
There you go. Well, anyways,
appreciate it though. Yeah,
absolutely. I know there's a lot of people watching, and I hope you understand how much we appreciate you doing this for us. And we're one of the few schools our size that have this luxury. And I hope you know how much we appreciate everything you do. So we appreciate you being here and covering all of our sports. So, but you talked about, cross country and volleyball. We had the opportunity to host both. I may be a little biased, but I thought we did a very nice job hosting both events. We put a lot of time into it, and we put a lot of extra into it. We had multiple coaches and fans and stuff, especially at cross country. That you can tell our cross-country people, and they said, man, they respected and appreciated the extra that we put into it. Sometimes there's a lot that goes into a Friday night football game or a home volleyball game or basketball game, but, what do you do to make cross-country, feel special or have that same atmosphere? And I thought we did an outstanding job of doing that. We hired a DJ, we had an awesome starter and timer. We had some taco trucks out there, some other food trucks. We got the flags, and, we had a cool inflatable finish line, and, we painted some stuff on the course, and, did an awards ceremony, and just did everything that we could to make it, a quality event and make those kids feel special as well. And then, some of the feedback that we got was, it was nice, at least for our area schools, they went to cross country, they went and grabbed a bite to eat, and then they went to sub-state volleyball. It was at the same location. And, all the other ADs and stuff talked about how nice that was. And I said, yeah, absolutely. You can do it next year, but it was nice. And, I've always said we have an awesome venue for sub-state volleyball. And so appreciative to get the opportunity to host that. And, I thought our cooks did an awesome job. We had an excellent hospitality room. We announced it. It was covered by Lakin Sports, and we recognized the starters and walked out the teams and played music for them and did an award ceremony at the end. And we did a lot of things, I feel like, that aren't required to do. It was the extra that we put into it to make it special, and just had gotten a lot of positive feedback, from a lot of people. And I tell you, you were there, but holy cow, the volleyball, what an atmosphere. That place was rocking.
It was rocking.
Like, oh my gosh, we kept having to move the kind of the roadblocks over and over so that more people could come in. But overall it was an awesome Saturday, and pretty cool that we got to host that. Very, very thankful for the opportunity, and hopefully we can do it again sometime, maybe in a couple of years. Give us a little bit of a break.
Don't want to do a back-to-back?
Yeah, I'm not so sure. So
what?
We would do it.
This time next year, you'd be ready to do it again anyway.
We'd be all right.
But like you said, with cross-country, how many cross-country meets, and even for the local meet, the regular season meet, there were still food trucks out there. You had a DJ, and, just for a regular season meet, Lakin provides an atmosphere that you don't find anywhere else. And I'm not knocking any of the other schools that host, and they put on good events, but to me it just seems like Lakin just goes a step above and beyond to create an atmosphere, because you know what, and I'm guilty as anybody, but cross-country is not one of those sports that gets fully covered. Same with girls golf. I apologize for it, but there's no way for me to cover it. But a lot of people just don't support those. I mean, your footballs, your volleyballs, your basketball, those are what they call the revenue sports, I guess, so to speak. And they don't get a lot of recognition. But for Lakin to do what they did for that cross-country meet, like you said, you had an inflatable finish line. They'll be lucky if they even see that at state tomorrow. They'll have an inflatable finish line, I'm sure, but there won't be a DJ, there won't be food trucks lining the course at Wamego. But what a great atmosphere, though.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It's just somewhere along the lines we went to a meet, or it's no different than any other sporting event. You go somewhere and you see something, you're like, oh, that's cool. Like, we should try to do that. And then the next thing you know, we're meeting with the coaches, and hey, can we do this, and finding someone that can help us out. And the next thing you know, we're doing it at ours. But it's just our coaches, we spend a lot of time on the extra and making the experience for the kids be something that they remember. And that's really all it was. But I'll tell you, it takes a lot of people to make those things happen.
Yeah.
The joke is, I was just talking to Coach Lovely about it over there. He came with me, and he's always like, man, how'd you get that done, or how'd we get that? We know a guy, or we know a guy. Well, once you do all those things, you start to meet people and get those things. But it's no different than, like, look at this tonight. Their band, and they're out, the marching band, and they're performing at halftime, and you've seen different kids go up and directing each song, and they're dressed in costumes, and we have to get to this point. Like, we need to be doing stuff like this, and we're working towards it. We always are, and we'll do what we can. But look at how many kids are out there. That's what makes it. However many kids are involved in it. That's what. It's hard to go out and do a marching band when you only have a handful of kids. And
yeah, exactly.
I know we're working towards that, and Mr. Anderson is going to do a good job and help get kids out. But this is also cool.
I love this.
This is an awesome thing, and we got to find a way to make this happen for us as well.
I remember in high school, I was part of the marching band, and back then, Lakin Marching Band was as much pride as the athletics that they put on the court or on the field. We had 65 strong in a marching band. You don't see that in a lot of small schools, and a lot of hard work, but it was a lot of fun. I look back on it, I am proud for what I did.
Absolutely.
With the marching band, and, hey, that got me 2 years of college as well. So a lot of fun, but, yeah, we're hoping that Mr. Anderson does that with the Lakin High School Band and gets that going. I'll tell you what, if I could fund it, I would pay anything to put a marching band back on the field at Lakin again, because so much tradition on Friday night when the band's marching on the field. But, we're, finish up talking about what we do, what Lakin does for the cross country and the volleyball. But, the thing about it is, it's not for Lakin to stand out. It's like, oh, Lakin did this and we did this, and, we did it, but you don't know. This is for every kid that's out there. I'll guarantee you the Goodland Cowgirls that won the 3A sub-state volleyball tournament last week was just as thrilled the next day, Monday when they went to school, knowing that, hey, we got introduced. We were, Goodland was there covering it, streaming it, things like that. But, that is for the kids. That is for their memory. And, they will remember going to Lakin, and when it comes time to come back to Lakin, they'll say, oh my gosh, hey, they introduced the players. Or, I've heard, things with students that come back and can't wait to go to Lakin because they want that Frito chili pie at the concession stand or something like that, or that cinnamon sugar pretzel. A lot of towns don't offer that. And that's nothing. That's just hard work by Sandy and the concessions. But, Lakin, I take pride into it to know that Lakin, people want to come to Lakin, kids want to come to Lakin to play just because of the atmosphere that Lakin creates.
Well, we definitely spend a lot of time into every aspect of every event, and from whether or not it's the custodians, the maintenance, the setup, the organization, the concession stand, the announcer, the whatever it is, it's stuff that we invest time in, and we look at all of it and say, okay, how can we make this better? And again, my brother's getting a little bit into the middle school AD, obviously and stuff, and so he'll go places like, oh my gosh, like I have never been able to enjoy a game ever again because of all these things that you pointed out to me that, this isn't taken care of, and you need to make sure this is done, and you got, it's just part of the gig, but it's a pride thing, and so when people come to your town and they come to your school and in one of your events, it's something that, they respect, they appreciate, and they want to come back to again. Look at the marching band. Look how they have the crowd involved, and the students are up, and the parents are here, and they've been killing it. It's been the entire halftime show. They've been out there the whole time. Yeah. That's a cool thing. That's a huge part of high school sports and high school in general.
And one thing that you did touch on, but I do want to make sure we send a shout out. You talked about the custodial staff and everybody behind the scenes at Lakin High School, Lakin Middle School. But that crew the night before volleyball, they were there because of a football game. They were there late that night, getting everything that, they had to clean up that area that was dirty for football to get it ready for the spectacular, the spectacle of volleyball the next day. But I don't know all of the staff, but the kitchen staff with the hospitality room. I know I was with gentleman with Open Spaces Sports. He had nothing but good to say about how everything was. He said by far the best hospitality room he's ever been at with what Lakin offers. But, the crew, Michael, Heather, I don't know all of them, but you do know them all. But I'll tell you what, I take pride in knowing what they do. I thank them every chance I get. They don't have to do a lot for me, but I know Michael has a table out there, has a chair for me, and things like that. Doesn't have to do it. I can go fetch my own, but that's just the pride that the Lakin people have, and they want to put on a good show too. But the essential staff, they do a great job at Lakin, but they're the ones that never are seen hardly, and but I'll tell you what, I can't thank them enough for all that they do.
Yeah, they do a good job, and it's just like, it seems like everybody else, at this time is, everybody seems to be shorthanded, and they're another group that's shorthanded and still find a way to come through. And, Michael jokes with me a lot, and, the rest of them do too, with all my wild requests and expectations and stuff. They might give me a hard time, but they always come through, and, you can't imagine doing it without them. So appreciate everything they do. And
couldn't do it without them.
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
couldn't. Not at all. And like I said, they are a group that don't get enough thanks, but they're never afraid to do anything. And like I said, I think it's great, everything that they do. And they make it so much easier for everybody else, for sure. Tomorrow, what time will the boys run tomorrow?
They go at 10:40 at Wamego Country Club. We did a little send-off for them today and stuff, and I joked with them, okay, you should all three be done by 10:57. That's just 17 minutes. You should be in there. But you know what? I found something kind of interesting. I gave Coach White a hard time because he put together a little something that I could share at the send-off and stuff today. And, he wrote a book for me, so there was about 3 chapters that I had to read. But one of the things that I found to be the most interesting is that we're the only school at the state meet tomorrow that has 3 individual runners participating outside of a team, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the rest are there as a team, and then there's a couple that might have one, maybe two, but we have three, and the exciting thing is all three of those are back, and then and then we have a couple of others that are right there that are going to be pushing, to make us better as a team, and then we're going to get a couple of really nice middle school runners. So, we should, and I think our, the overall just vibe of the program is, is continuing to grow. So, pretty excited to see what those boys can do tomorrow and what the future of that program holds.
Yeah, really looking good for the future when you have your young runners with eligibility left. And it's going to be, for one, last weekend of October. It's going to be beautiful tomorrow, 70 degrees for the runners. Tonight it's a little crisp, but, hey, this is fall football. This is a beautiful night. And, no, I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of Halloween weekends where it's been icy, snowy, and I'm glad I wasn't having to be at events during that. We've been always fortunate, especially in my 15 years of doing this, and, times I have to sit outside. I've never had to sit in the rain. I've had a few sprinkles, always cold wind, but I'm going to knock on wood, the old wooden noggin here, but been fortunate to sit through some very good weather, but
very good. Yeah, you see all the people that are watching?
That's right. Hey, I'll tell you what, the shout-outs mean it dearly.
Yeah.
Dearly mean it. But yeah, perfect weather for the end of October, and couldn't have drawn it up any better. And, last week for cross-country and volleyball, perfect weather for the teams to come in and get home. So, yeah, really been fortunate because we know in Kansas, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes because it could change.
Yeah, that's the truth. That wind the last couple of days has been
my
rough.
gosh.
And
yeah.
So, anyways.
Coach, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
I was wondering what we'd talk about, but we somehow burned 15 minutes like we always do.
Yeah.
You know what? The next time we're going to talk, we're going to be in a gym.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We will
to think.
be.
Yeah,
it is hard to believe.
In a few weeks, that's for sure. So.
All right.
All right. Thanks again, Brett, for all you guys do.
Have a great weekend. Enjoy cross country tomorrow. Travel safe.
We'll do. You too.
You bet. Bronc head coach, basketball head coach Nate Schmidt, and the Lakin High School activities director, and always a pleasure. And we always find ways to burn time, and we did it again tonight. And we are set for the start of our second half. The Broncs will receive, and I want to thank the Kearney County Bank and the Lakin Rec Commission for their sponsorship of our halftime. Beloit to kick it off, Broncs to receive as we start our second half. Broncs going from our right to our left, our left to our right in this second half in the road white uniforms. High end over in kick once again. Broncs will fair catch it and start from their 29-yard line. Armando Salcido with the fair catch. Our third quarter brought to you by Lakin Drug. And we'll try to pay back all the sponsors with another run, but appreciate all the sponsors do.
There is a penalty flag on the play.
Flag on the play against Beloit, so they will re-kick it.
Progress called against Beloit on the kickoff. It'll be marked back 5 yards and we'll re-kick.
So 5 yards marked off against the Trojans, and we will re-kick. Broncs now move the deep men back, and Servando will field it at the 20-yard line. Cuts to the left side, now back up the middle, and will be thrown down towards the 35-yard line. The Broncs will start there. So right before Beloit made the kick, Servando traded places with the up man and was able to field that kick. Broncs starting from their 35-yard line. Broncs with about 43 yards on their opening drive, and the offense has stalled ever since. It has been all Trojans from the outset, leading 40-0. Servando under center, fakes it up the middle to Martinez. To the right side, gets to the 40-yard line.
Quarterback roll out of the play, Servando Gonzalez. Held up by Owen Ireland, Jackson Rexrow Raymount.
Servando taken out of bounds after a gain of 5 yards on the play. And the clock is running. I'll run our clock down. With the out-of-bounds play, I was surprised that they started the clock, but could be an agreement that the clock is going to run in this second half. I'm not sure. Fake up the middle, pitch to Oldham. In the backfield, nothing doing. And the Bronx with a loss. Going to be a loss of 6 yards on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 11.
A big loss on the play of 6. 3rd down and 11.
Servando in the gun. Throws out to the flat, complete to Hudson. He'll be brought down short of the 1st down. Going to gain about 7 yards on the play. Brings up 4th down and 4. See what the Bronx do here. Servando with the play call from the sideline. And the Bronx will go for it. A big 4th and 4 on the Bronx opening possession of this second half. Fake to Oldham. Steps inside. Pass off the fingertips of Hudson. And the Bronx will turn it over on downs. Beloit with great starting field position at the Bronx 41-yard line. Pitch to Burnt. Has an opening on the right side. And will be knocked down inside the Bronx 5-yard line. And it's 1st and goal. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for the Trojans. Like I said earlier, nothing fancy with Beloit. They just line up, here it is, try to stop us. And there has been no stopping them so far tonight. 1st and goal from the Bronx 5. Trojans send a receiver split to the near side. That is Rexroth. And on the carry,
touchdown Trojans.
Benson Burnt with the carry. .8:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter. It is now Beloit 46, Bronx nothing, and they will go for 2. Give up the middle. The ball is loose on the ground, and the run fails.
Conversion is no good. 8:58 to play in the 3rd. Beloit 46.
And the score 46 for the Trojans. Bronx nothing with 8:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Our 3rd quarter brought to you by Lakin Drug. At Lakin Drug, their mission is simple. They strive to provide professional pharmacy services with hometown hospitality. Lakin Drug's experienced staff leads with compassion and utilizes modern technology to fit all of your individual needs. Whether it's prescription medications or over-the-counter products, Lakin Drug has the answer to all of your questions. Lakin Drug at 610 O'Loughlin Street in Lakin is a proud supporter of the community of Lakin and Lakin schools. .8:58 remaining in our third quarter. Beloit upping their lead. To 46-0. Clock will run from here on out. The Acacia 45-point rule with the running clock in the second half. Low end over end kick. Ball loose on the ground. Salcedo picks it up, looking for somewhere to run. Out to the 25, brought down at the 27-yard line.
Armando Salcedo on the return. And we have a late penalty flag coming in.
Flag on the play. Haven't had a lot of flags tonight, honestly. We'll wait and see what the call is. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Beloit.
15-yard penalty at the end.
So the 15-yard penalty will be marked off against the Trojans, giving the Bronx 1st and 10 from their 43-yard line. Bronx 1st and 10. Pitch is to Martinez. To the 45-yard line. Across to the about the 46-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Wesley Adolph. Parkersville on the stop.
Clock running at 7:16 to go in the third. Will be a continuous running clock for the remainder of the contest with the 46-0 score. I want to once again thank our great sponsors that make Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube possible. Those of you watching, please take the time and thank them for all they do. Without them, I wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be able to be watching. So definitely thank them for all they do. Give up the middle to Alan Martinez. No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 7. Also want to thank J.D. Ham for all the work that he has done and helped us out, not just this year, but over the years. Because I'll tell you what, 17 years ago, J.D. got us started. J.D. and I sat down and met for the first time. And then we started up LakinSports.com 15 years ago, but it couldn't have been done without J.D. Servando rolling to the right, down the field, off the hands of Armando Salcedo. And they're going to wave it off. Servando was pretty close to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to wave off the flag. It was close. I couldn't see with the players on the sideline, but pass was incomplete, bringing up 4th and 7. But back to JD, got us. And I'll tell you what, got us started, and we wouldn't be here doing what we do without his help and technical assistance. And for the last 3 weeks, he's been our armchair producer. And we wish JD, hey, get well soon. Get back on your feet. Just battling some health issues, and we'll get him back on his feet. Snap on the ground. Omar covers it up, but the Bronx will turn it over on down. And Beloit with great starting field position once again.
They'll start off at about the 33-yard line.
They'll have it 1st and 10 from the Bronx 30, inside the 32 and 33 yard line, so in between there. But I've been talking to JD weekly. Feeling a little bit better, but he's got a good attitude. He's ready to get back on his feet, keep things going. So, JD, appreciate all you do, and we'll be talking with you. And you will definitely be back on your feet in no time. I mean, he's actually on his feet, but, just being able to get up and around and get out and do some things. Tate Cadle on the carry. Yeah, that was Maddox Waters actually on the carry, looked like. So a gain of 7 yards on the play, brings up 2nd down and 3. And, of course, my son Jared sitting in during JD's absence, although he didn't make the trip tonight. But I want to thank him, and as always, the support from my wife Sandy at the home games has been there taking pictures, putting them on the LakinSports.com website for everybody to enjoy. Short gain on the play of 1, going to bring up 3rd down and 2 for the Trojans. Draven Shavira with the tackle for Lakin. So 3rd down and 2 for the Trojans. Give is up the middle to Burnt. Vincent Burnt with a big night. He has 4 touchdown runs and now runs for the 1st down there for the Trojans. Beam and Gonzalez. That would be Omar Gonzalez on the stop for the Bronx. 1st and 10 Trojans from the Bronx 20-yard line. Under 3 minutes to go. Clock is running in the 3rd quarter. Clock is a continuous running clock in this 2nd half. Give is to Burnt. Once again off the left side, tripped up by Oldham. Omar Gonzalez was in the backfield. Oldham with the tackle. Gain of maybe 4 yards on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 6. Haven't really talked a lot about it, but an interesting offensive set for Beloit. Like I said, they just line up. Here it is, try to stop it. But I like how they sprint to the line of scrimmage from their huddle. Like I said, the defense better be ready because they sprint to the line and they are set. Snap, give up the middle. Tate Cadle on the carry, brought down by Curtis Beam. Gains 5 on the play, brings up 3rd down and 1.
Makes the stop for Lakin. 3rd and 1 for the Trojans.
.122 to go in the quarter. 1st and 10 Beloit from the Bronx 11-yard line. Give up the middle to Tate Cadle.
Tate Cadle with an 11-yard touchdown run.
And it makes the score 52-0 in favor of the Trojans. Trojans now will attempt an extra point. On the field to attempt is Kalen Chancellor. Low line drive kick, and the kick is good. And that makes the score 53-0 in favor of the Trojans. Curtis Beam sprinting around from his right end position, almost got to that football. Clock continues to run. The officials are trying to stop it. And they finally do stop it at 5 seconds. It ran for the whole extra point. It is supposed to stop for the extra points, even though it is a running clock situation. I've got 12 on the clock. We'll see if they put any more up. I don't know that they will. And really, it's really immaterial for what's going to happen. It's not going to affect the outcome of this game whatsoever that an extra 30 seconds ran off the clock. Beloit to kick. Lakin back to return. Hudson and Servando back to receive for Lakin. We'll see if they switch with the up men again. Servando switched with Junior Gonzalez as the ball was being kicked the last time, just so he'd have a chance to return one. You recall Servando with a 95-yard kick return to start the game last week at TMP. So Chancellor to kick it off for the Trojans. 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. Short end. A hole just momentarily up our third quarter. Then all Beloit. We've got 12 more minutes to go. And we'll be back. Your third quarter brought to you by Lakin Drug. At Lakin Drug, their mission is simple. They strive to provide professional pharmacy services with hometown hospitality. Lakin Drug's experienced staff leads with compassion and utilizes modern technology to fit all of your individual needs. Whether it's prescription medications or over-the-counter products, Lakin Drug has the answer to all of your questions. Lakin Drug at 610 O'Loughlin Street in Lakin is a proud supporter of the... Our fourth quarter brought to you by the Golden Plains Credit Union.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You can lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
We start the fourth quarter. Bronx trailing 53-0. Brett Hendricks with you. Thanks for joining me tonight for Bronx football. Bronx with a delay of game right off the bat as we start the fourth quarter. Well, it might have been I think it was a substitution foul. I think the indication was a substitution foul. So first and 15 for the Bronx as they start this fourth quarter.
Alan Martinez stopped on the play by Brody Boudreaux and Tate Cadle.
Gain of 2 yards on the play brings up second and 13. And some substitutions now by the Trojans. As they get an ovation from the home crowd. They will advance to next week's second round. I don't know who the opponent will be. Give up the middle once again to Alan Martinez, fighting for yardage. Going to pick up 2 more. We'll bring up third down and 11.
Stopped by Kyan Uppett. Also Parker Isbell. Third down and 12.
We're going to call it third and 12. I've got third and 11 up there. We're going to leave it right there. Somehow my phone turned off. I don't know what's going on with it. Servando rolls out to throw along the far side. Pass falls incomplete.
Pass intended for Connor Hudson is out of bounds, and so it's an incomplete pass. Fourth down and 12.
Well, they said actually it was complete but out of bounds. Brings up fourth down for the Bronx. Gonzalez back to punt. High wobbly kick, lands at the 35, takes a big Bronc bounce, and will roll dead at the Beloit 22-yard line. Alan Martinez kills it for Lakin. And a timeout. So you stop the clock with 9:28 to go. No, they wanted to. No, Lakin will call timeout. Oh, Beloit with. So with that timeout, we're going to take one as well. Our fourth quarter brought to you by Golden Plains Credit Union, but our halftime show is brought to you by the Kearney County Bank. We'll be back right after this.
Home improvements that have had to wait. The dream vacation your family deserves. Even college tuition. Garden City State Bank can help you make it all happen now, not someday. With a home equity line of credit, you can borrow up to 90% of the value of your home, and the interest may be tax deductible. Plus, there are no closing costs, no application fees, and no annual fees. A fast, easy, convenient home equity line of credit from Garden City State Bank, a branch of the Kearney County Bank. Subject to credit approval, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We owed that one to the Kearney County Bank for sponsoring our halftime show tonight. Once again, our fourth quarter brought to you by the Golden Plains Credit Union. Timeout Beloit and some wholesale changes for the Trojans. Beloit has scored on every possession tonight. Try to find a new number now. Wholesale changes by the Trojans. Brady Boudreau on the carry. Looking for his number. Mings and White on the stop for the Bronx. I can't find the name there or the number. Number 63 in the program, so they've got another number on him. Aiden Loomis on the carry for Lakin, for Beloit.
Stopped on the play by Ross Ryder.
Ross Ryder on the tackle for Lakin. So Lakin also making some substitutions here. 3rd down and 7 for the Trojans. 8:25 and counting. Bronx will see their season end. And their record will end at 5-4. At the conclusion of the game, we'll have a chance to talk to Bronx head coach Chris Bamberger for the final time this year. Give off the left side across the 30-yard line. And for the first time tonight, Beloit will send their punter out. 4th and 4 for the Trojans. Be 4th and 3. I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. I want to thank everybody. I hope you've enjoyed it all season long. It's been our pleasure to bring you Bronx football. We also broadcasted some volleyball as well. I think we had 15 volleyball matches this year. Not able to do the whole season, but we were able to bring some. 4th and 3. Back to return for the Bronx. I think it's Armando Salcido. Short kick. Checks up at the 40, now takes a Beloit bounce to the Bronx 36-yard line where Lakin will take over 1st and 10. Salcido was back to return that punt but didn't get an opportunity. Now Bronx 1st and 10. Clock running under 7 minutes, now 6:50 to go. And the Bronx with offensive changes as well. Like I said, we'll talk to Coach Bamberger for the final time this year. Then we'll pack it up and take the long 4-hour drive home. Give up the middle to Oldham. Oldham spun away from the first defender, brought down after a gain of about 2 yards on the play. Actually, they're going to give him 1, so 2nd down and 9.
Gain of 1, 2nd down and 9.
Beloit, I thought, jumped. I saw Lakin flinch, but now they're going to get the Trojans for the offside. So that'll move them 5 yards up. 2nd and 4 for the Bronx as the clock continues to run at 5:35. In at quarterback for the Bronx, Adric Gomez. Adric with the give. Didn't see them. Javion Granado with the carry. 1st and 10 Bronx. Clock continues to run at 5 minutes. Bronx send a receiver split to the near side. That is Timmy Johnson. Didn't catch the number split to the right side. And the Trojans jump once again.
Offsides Beloit.
Offsides Beloit. We haven't had a lot of flags, but it's been more offsides Beloit than it has been anything tonight. So the Bronx with the cadences, drawing the Trojans off multiple times tonight. Gomez with the keeper to the near side.
Number 24, Adric Gomez is the quarterback.
Adric on the carry across the 45-yard line, close to a 1st down, but they're going to say just shy. Gain of 4 on the play. And bring up 2nd down and 1.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 1.
Junior Gonzalez split to the right side. Gomez under center. Busted play, now just looking for some space. Spins away from a defender up the middle. He's actually going to have enough for the 1st down. So the Bronx with a broken play, but Adric able to make something out of nothing and gets the 1st down. 3:15 to go in the ball game. Beloit will improve to 6-3 on the season. Bronx fall to 5-4. Colter Oldham still in the contest, now getting some work at the fullback position. Adric under center. Give us to Oldham. Spins away from the defender, now slips to the right side across the 35, still on his feet. Kicked out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. I think he'll have enough for the 1st down. Yes, they moved the chains. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bronx from the 30. Clock running under 2.5 to play.
Jackson Weston, also Riker Park, forced him out of bounds.
Ryder in motion, has the pitch. Ross around the right corner. He's opened up the right sideline. And they're going to have him down at the 1-yard line. Ross Ryder sprinting up the far side. Almost got the Bronx on the board. He's just shy and took it to the 1-yard line. Ross Ryder with some speed in the open field. So 1st and goal Bronx, 1:36 in counting in the ball game. Bronx with receiver split both sides. And Beloit jumps off sides once again. That'll move them a length of the football closer to the goal line. Clock continues to run. Bronx would like to at least get the goose egg off the scoreboard. It's a 1st and goal from about a football length. Give up the middle, nothing doing. Beloit was ready for that. Now it's 2nd and goal for the Bronx. Under a minute to go. Loss is back to the 2-yard line. It's a 2nd and goal from the 2.
Second down and goal from just outside the 1.
They're going to say just over a yard to go now. 40 seconds. Adric with the snap, keeps it up the middle, and it's going to be short.
Adric Gomez on the quarterback sneak, stopped by
And it'll be 3rd and goal from the 1. Clock running at 25 seconds. Bronx wanting to push this in. Of course, Beloit wants the shutout. Bronx want to get the goose egg off the clock, off the board. Adric under center. The give is to Oldham. And touchdown. Colter Oldham with the touchdown with 6 seconds to go. Clock will run to 0. Bronx will have an attempt to kick the extra point. Oh, they're going to call it. That is it. So
and Lakin 6. Fans, thank you for your support of Beloit High School football all season.
So the Bronx don't get a chance to kick the extra point, and they will fall to 5-4, losing to Beloit tonight by the score of 53-6. Going to take a timeout. Your 4th quarter brought to you by the Golden Plains Credit Union. I want to thank all the great sponsors for all they've done for LakinSports.com. We couldn't have done it without them. And they've been with us. A lot of them have been with us for 15 years, and we thank them for their dedication and all of their help in making what we do possible on our Friday nights and during basketball, Tuesdays and Fridays, and we couldn't do it without them, that is for sure. So we're going to take a timeout. We will be back.
Refinance your auto loan at Golden Plains Credit Union. You could lower your current auto loan rate by 2% with no payments for up to 90 days. Rates can be as low as 3.25% annual percentage rate. This offer applies to loans financed from another lender. Think of all the money you could be saving every month. This is a limited time offer, so stop by and ask about refinancing your auto loan today. Golden Plains Credit Union. Life with a touch of gold. Member NCUA.
Welcome back to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube. I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight for Bronx football. A tough night for Bronx football as they lose it by the score of 53-6. And one of the features that we do here is the player of the game. And I'll tell you what, I want to thank Dwayne Bachman at D-Bach Metals with our player of the game medallions. And Nate gave them to me last week, and I can't find them. I don't know if I may have set them out of my bag. I was trying to reorganize my bag, and I bet I set them out. So I'll have to. I didn't get the player of the game to Darian Edgington last week, and I really have not decided who our player of the game is tonight. But I'll make a decision and hand one out. I'm not real sure. But the Bronx taking it on the chin tonight as they lose it 53. I better put that score of 53-6. And we'll see their record fall to 5-4. And that'll do it for this 2021 season. I want to thank everybody that's helped make LakinSports.com and Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube possible. Not only this year, but we're completing our 15th year of LakinSports.com and our football coverage. We've been doing it for parts of 17 years, as JD and I got started 17 years ago. But I want to thank everybody we've had a lot of help. There's no way I could do this by myself. And, the support of my wife, Sandy, and the support of my family, my oldest son, Tyler, even though he's not at the house anymore. He's married and moved away, but a lot of years when he was in high school, got the support from him. And, just without that, you couldn't do it. And I want to thank them. And a lot of people. We've had a lot of great sponsors over the years. We have some that have been with us for all 15. We've had some that have come and went, and some that left, some that came back, and dearly appreciate all the sponsors and all their support and everybody's support. I'll tell you what, not even the businesses. We've had people, just out of the blue that support us, and, just because they appreciate being able to watch when they can't come to the games. So a lot of people that, I'll tell you what, way too many that I can ever name and thank. And but I want them to know that I dearly, dearly appreciate everything that they've ever done for me and my family and LakinSports.com and now Lakin Bronx Sports here on YouTube. So, I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of people. And I get to do the easy part, really, to sit here and talk on the air. And this is the easy part. This is the fun part. And this is the cool stuff. So, I'll tell you what, while I'm talking about all the great sponsors that make LakinSports.com possible, and I talked about JD, he put together what we call the laundry list of all of our sponsors. And we want to run that right now to give those sponsors some added time because we can't thank them enough. We ask that you do the same.
Lakin Sports has been bringing you Lakin High School sports on the internet for many years and is proud of sharing Lakin High School events with you. Without the great support of the businesses that sponsor Lakin Sports, this would have not been possible. A huge thank you goes out to the Lakin Recreation Commission, Pioneer Communications of Southwest Kansas, the Kearney County Community Development, Ralph Goodnight, Hendricks Welding, Brad Hendricks, Lakin Hay and the Lakin Dairy, Fred Ritzema, and the Stampede, along with the Kearney County Bank and the Garden City State Bank, the Agency of Lakin and Garden City, Flashbacks Diner of Lakin, Lakin Drug, Shelter Insurance Gwen Wechter, and the Golden Plains Credit Union. Thank you, sponsors, and thank you for watching and making Lakin Sports such a huge success. LakinSports.com, the home of Lakin High School sports.
And welcome back to Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube, LakinSports.com. Bronx see their season end on the short end of a 53-6 Beloit victory. Bronx will finish 5-4. And once again, we're going to wait to talk to Bronx head coach Chris Bamberger. Going to be difficult to talk tonight, as it would always be after a loss. But this will be the final chance we get to talk with the coach, and we appreciate him going out of his way to come up and talk to us each and every week, pregame and postgame, and been some very nice conversations. Nice to talk about some wins, but then there's been some tough nights, and tonight is going to be one of those. And a lot of hugs on the field because there's a lot of seniors that played their final game as a member of the Bronx on the football field. They'll have chances to play some basketball, wrestle, run track, play baseball, things like that. But for a lot of players out there, their final season as a Bronx football player. Still haven't decided on a player of the game yet. We try to spread it around. And doesn't have to be a senior, doesn't have to be any classmate, but any classification, but just try to pick somebody that caught our eye, and like I said, I'll wait on it and see. I'm not sure who we're going to give it to yet tonight, but got a few minutes to go. Like I said, a lot of hugs on the field, and it's difficult for a lot of those players. I remember last year at Phillipsburg, took forever for us to get a chance to talk to Coach Bamberger, because there were so many people on the field and players and hugs, and they wanted pictures with the coaches and things like that. So very difficult. And we didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Bamberger last week. I'd love to get a chance to talk to him tonight before we put this season to rest. But we'll just wait and see. I know it's going to take a little extra time, but I'd sure like to. And we'll see what we can do. Once again, want to wish the best of luck tomorrow at the 3A State Cross Country Meet. Best of luck to Lawson Beamer, the 3A Lakin Regional Champion, Austin Ritzma and Alex Luce representing Lakin tomorrow. So best of luck to those runners at Wamego. I know Nate's earlier. He's here at the football game tonight. He'll stay in the area tonight so he can be there for state cross country tomorrow. And hard to believe, but I'll tell you what, after tonight, the next time we talk, we'll be into basketball season. It'll be December. Holy cow, folks, where does it go? It goes quick, believe me. Faster and faster every year for sure. But yeah, next time we're on the air, it'll be after Thanksgiving. We'll be getting set for Christmas. So. Thank to everybody that I possibly could tonight. I was trying to think if we left anybody out. Of course, I will always forget somebody, and that's not on purpose, not by design, but we definitely want to give thanks and recognition to everybody that we can, because like I said before, and like I always say, I get to do the easy part. I have so many people that have sacrificed a lot of their time and efforts to make what we do successful, and I guess it's successful. We're still going, and we have a lot of great people that that definitely give us their appreciation for what we do. So yeah, it's like I said, a lot of great people. A lot of great people behind the scenes that make Lakin Bronx Sports YouTube possible, and definitely couldn't do it without him. And Coach showing his youth as he sprints to the top of the bleachers here to visit with us. You need a break to catch your breath now?
Brett, I know you told me one of the first few times you said never run to an interview.
That's right.
And I can't breathe.
Oh, JD told me that years ago. Well, actually, somebody told me when I used to drive ambulance, I worked for the hospital, and they said never run to your scene because you're going to be out of breath and never be able to help that person that needs your help. And as they said, always you look at an EMT and say, man, they ought to be hurrying. You got to get there. Like I said, you can't do anything when you're out of breath. And yeah. I had broadcasters tell me the same thing, but I do appreciate you taking the time to come up and visit with us. And unfortunately, this is going to be the last time we speak this year. And it's not on a good note tonight as the Bronx see their season come to an end. But, we talked in the pregame about this Beloit offense and got to see it a lot on film. But when you see it in person, I'll tell you what, I don't know how they lost 3 games the way they run their offense.
Yeah, no, they're so good up front, and where maybe where there's some areas that you feel like you maybe could take advantage of, you feel like you can't ever get to them because they play so physical and fast in your face, and they hide the ball well. And I think a lot of times our kids weren't even sure where to fit because they didn't know who had the ball. And if you're not downhill aggressive and very sound up front, you're going to have a lot of guys in your face at the point of attack. And I felt like that was us. I mean, we would get a guy to the ball maybe on the perimeter, and either we'd bounce off of him or we'd have to take on about one or two lead blockers, and they were off to the races, and we definitely had trouble with that all night tonight.
And Beloit tonight did to the Bronx like Lakin did to TMP last week. A big kickoff return had Beloit deep in Lakin territory right off their first drive, and it just seemed like from there they had the momentum and it just snowballed. But anytime in postseason, well, it doesn't really matter any game, but the opportunity to jump out to a quick lead always benefits a team. But tonight, last week it was for the Bronx. It didn't last long, but it was for the Bronx. Tonight it was Beloit, and they just took it from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think our best defense would have been our offense tonight. And, we had a couple series where we really did a good job. I felt like moving the ball the first series. I felt like Coach Drew really got in a rhythm, calling them, kept them on their heels, kept them off balance a little bit. And then we kind of stubbed our toe with just a penalty, and it causes us to get off schedule, and things like that kind of hurt us. But I guess obviously there'll be some positive things when we turn on the film that we see, and obviously a lot of things that we're going to see and not be so positive.
Unfortunately tonight, and down there after the post-game huddle, a lot of hugs and a lot of pictures, but seniors that just played their last game with a Bronx uniform, and that's always tough. And no loss is easy to take, no matter, if it's a big loss, a close loss, every loss hurts. But these kids now still standing on that football field, it's to the point they don't want to leave now because they've just played their last down of football.
Yeah, and, I think we talked in the pregame about it. The message to the kids is take advantage of these opportunities because football is final. And, there's a lot of those kids that they'll never put the pads on again. And, if you love the game of football, which I think we have a lot of kids that do down there, that that's not an easy thing to do. I think sometimes even the kids, when you check in your gear, even if you are going to go play in college, there's something special about Friday Night Lights. There's something special about high school football, and even small school football for that matter. I think you build some bonds, and you have some have adversity. I think football is one of those sports where it really takes a lot of courage and a lot of toughness, and playing physical, and it puts you in some tough situations as a man and as a kid on the field. And I think that's where a lot of the growth happens, and I think they grow some really strong relationships, and hopefully that's something they can carry with them as they go into life.
And that is the thing that so many times is lost on a Friday night, is just like you said. This is going to mean something. What coaches want to do, mold players, they're not molding them into NFL Hall of Famers. A coach will take more pride 10, 20 years down the line to see a former player that's successful, a former player, maybe invited them to their wedding, or maybe asked to be, a sponsor or a godparent to a child or something like that. But the thing about it is, so many times with high school athletics, that's forgotten is the life lessons that are supposed to be learned. Wins and losses. The wins are awesome. Losses suck. But in the bottom, in the end, that is what you want to teach, is the life lessons, I guarantee.
Well, I think we do get hung up on wins and losses, and I think obviously when you end the season, you realize these kids, there's something bigger than football with these kids, and it's always bigger than football. I think sometimes we forget, but ultimately that's our goal. And I know that was the experience that I got as a player, and I just hope that we do something in these kids' lives that is positive, like we were able to get as coaches. And these kids, there's a lot of seniors down there that they've invested a ton of time. There was no question this group of kids bought into the weight room at a young age, and they committed every summer. These kids committed to multiple programs, and they put in a ton of time. I don't know if we've had very many programs since I've been here that have put in the kind of time, and not just football, but in sports, in the off seasons, in the summer times, and this group of kids, I think they just love it, and they love competing and they love being around each other, and that's what makes them fun to coach.
It definitely is, and still quite a few of them down on the field that still taking their time to leave. But as every year, you look back and every group is special. There's to me, there's not one group over the other, because it's always a good bunch of kids. And from my vantage point, getting to call the games, I get close to the kids as well, and get to talk to them and be around them. And so like I said, it's never one class over the other. You hate to see them go. Gosh, it just seems like it's almost like I adopt them as my own. I'm around them for so long, and definitely you have that right to say that, because you're with them every day.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, a disappointing end. But I'll tell you what, for the seniors, 4 years of memories. 4 years of the first round of the playoffs. So. Not a lot of kids. There's a lot of teams that would like to be 5-4. 5-4 is a bitter pill right now, but a lot of teams that would like to be there. But these kids have been successful for 4 years, definitely.
Yeah, I think they've definitely left the program in a better place than what it was when they got here. And there's really only at this point a few teams that are walking off the field without tears in their eyes. And because from here on out, it's losers are done, and there's going to be a lot of losers that happen between now and, the state championship game. It's just obviously the further you make it, that, the happier you are about it.
And the only loser is on the scoreboard, because it's not, losers, it seems to me kind of like a harsh word.
Yeah,
you're only losing
agree
on the scoreboard, but you still walk off a winner as far as I'm concerned, for sure.
Yep.
Coach, I know there's been some good times to talk to me this year. Tonight's one of those sad times to talk to me this year, but I want to take the time to thank you for taking the time out to visit with me. I know sometimes I don't want to take a coach out of their routines, because I know coaches have a routine, but I do appreciate you taking the time to visit with me week after week. I enjoy it. I appreciate it.
No, Brett, I think, for what you provide for us and our fans and our experience, I think we appreciate you and everything that you guys do. And I know that it's not always easy for you to make a 4-hour trip, to watch us play on Fridays. But I hope that our fans, if you're listening out there, you guys make sure you give Brett a shout out when you get the chance to come out here and do this for us.
Well, it's definitely my pleasure, or I wouldn't be doing it, that's for sure. But, Coach, final time to talk this year, but I know we'll get chances to talk more in the off season, and we'll look forward to another season of Bronc football next year. But if you would, I'm going to get my post-game my outtake going, but I want to visit with you just real quick off camera. But
okay.
Once again, I want to thank you, and I appreciate it. And once again, the Broncs see their season end tonight, and their season ends with a 5-4 record as the Broncs lose tonight by the score of 53-6. To the Beloit Trojans. Once again, I want to thank everybody that makes Lakin Bronc Sports YouTube possible. I couldn't do it without them. Without them, I couldn't be doing it. JD, for all your technical support. Get well soon. We want to see you back here with a headset on with us someday soon. And thank you for all you do. My wife, Sandy, for all the support. Jared, for all his support. And even though Tyler's moved away from home, I still get the support from him and get to talk with him every week about it. So definitely appreciate him too. The sponsors, couldn't do it without them. Those of you still watching, thank those sponsors, because they provide us their hard-earned money and their time to do what we do, so that you can be at home if you can't make it to the game, that you're able to watch. So until then, the next time we'll talk, it's going to be December, and we'll be looking forward to talking to you then. Everybody have a great month of November. Get out, celebrate the veterans. Celebrate the veterans during the month of November, Veterans Day, and everybody have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. And we'll talk to you in December once basketball season starts. So until then, God bless. Take care. We will see you soon.
Lakin Sports has been bringing you Lakin High School sports on the internet for many years and is proud of sharing Lakin High School events with you. Without the great support of the businesses that sponsor Lakin Sports, this would have not been possible. A huge thank you goes out to the Lakin Recreation Commission, Pioneer Communications of Southwest Kansas, the Kearney County Community Development, Ralph Goodnight, Hendricks Welding, Brad Hendricks, Lakin Hay and the Lakin Dairy, Fred Ritzema, and the Stampede, along with the Kearney County Bank and the Garden City State Bank, the Agency of Lakin and Garden City, Flashbacks Diner of Lakin, Lakin Drug, Shelter Insurance Gwen Wechter, and the Golden Plains Credit Union. Thank you, sponsors, and thank you for watching and making Lakin Sports such a huge success. LakinSports.com, the home of Lakin High School sports.